Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna compare Google's Gemini Code Assist against GitHub Copilot. As a developer, I'm gonna develop an application right in front of you and evaluate both of these tools on these 10 different factors. By the end of this video, you will know what is Gemini good at and what is GitHub Copilot good at. And as a bonus tip, I have also added a 11th factor of comparison which is very relevant and important for all of us. Stay tuned till the end of this video so that you can become a smart developer. To start with, we will try to understand how easy it is to set up and get started with these tools. Honestly, it was easy with both of them. Like in case of Gemini, I had to go to my VS Code, go to the extensions, just search for Gemini, install, log in. It was a process of few minutes and then I was able to get started. No hiccups as such. Almost similar or same was the case with GitHub Copilot as well. I had to search for the Copilot extension, install it, and then I was able to get started with Copilot as well just in few minutes. So I would say it's a tie 1-1 for both of them. Now it is time to start the real work. I'm gonna ask both of these agents to create an application from scratch and then let us see which one does a better job. In case of GitHub Copilot, it has come up with a project structure and it is also giving me an option to create the workspace just by a click of a button. As you can see, it has created a proper project structure. It has a main.py, a utils file. It has also added a requirements.txt which has a list of what are libraries or something I'm gonna need to install, and it has also created a readme file as well. Awesome. I'm gonna click on create workspace and then I'm gonna get started with this application. Meanwhile, let us look at what Google's Gemini has done. Unfortunately, it is still thinking. It is taking a lot of time to come up with an answer. Let's wait for Gemini to provide us the answer to create this application. Finally, I have the answer from Google's Gemini. It honestly took at least good couple of minutes. In case of Copilot, it was almost instant. I don't think I waited even 10 seconds. One thing what I can see right away is that Copilot answer was a lot more structured. It suggested me to create a workspace. It suggested a proper code structure with an src folder and then the requirements.txt and stuff like that. While in case of Gemini, it has created a code, but then the level of integration with VS Code, I don't find it really great. So it is suggesting me to copy this and then prepare this py file manually. Now it is time to execute the program to see how it is working. Now let me start with executing the program what is generated by Gemini. Good. Basic stuff, it is able to work. It is able to generate a password for the length what I'm providing. Let me go ahead and try executing the program what is created by GitHub Copilot. In case of Copilot as well, the basic stuff is working good. If I provide a password length, it is able to generate the password. So I would say the ability to create an application from scratch, Copilot definitely does a little better job because it is able to structure the code better, it is able to give me faster answers, but the core coding competency at this point of time looks same. Both of them were able to generate code which is working. Now let us try to make our requirement a little more complex and then give a prompt to both of these tools and let us see how they are going to behave. So I'm gonna ask this tool to basically provide support for users to choose whether they want a capital letter or not, small letters or not, how many of them they want, support for symbols, numbers and all of that, and also add necessary validation. Let me give this prompt to both of these tools and let us see how they behave. So Copilot has already come up with the answer. Again, this time Gemini seems to be taking time, but meanwhile let us accept the suggestions what Copilot has provided and then we will see if it is working as expected. It is asking me how many uppercase characters I want. I want 3, lowercase I want 0. Let's say number of digits I want 12. 3. Ideally it should fail. Good. It is saying the sum of character type exceeds the password length. Good. It is doing the validation right. Now let us try one more time. Good. It was able to generate the password as expected. So Copilot was able to understand my requirement and generate the code for that. Meanwhile, Gemini is still writing code, still generating response. Let us give it few more minutes. One thing I did not like about this Copilot answer was now my main.py becoming a lot longer. I would have wished if this method was moved to a different py file to keep my main.py cleaner and lean. But let us see what Copilot has to do. It has generated the code. Now it is providing me an explanation of what was changed and what has been the improvements and stuff like that. Now it is also providing a view which basically has the difference, which we can view this way, like what was the previous code and what is the current code, and we can view all of the differences here. So I'm gonna accept these changes. Great. And then I'm gonna restart this application. Password, and unexpected error occurred. Name password is not defined. There is definitely some error in the code what Gemini has created. So I'm gonna ask Gemini to fix the code. Let us see if it is able to do it. Okay, so now after applying the fixes what Gemini suggested, now the application is working fine. It is able to generate the password based on my inputs. So if I talk about the ability of the model to understand my requirement and give answers, finally both of them were able to give the right code. Both of them were able to understand my requirement. Yes, with Gemini we had a hiccup. There was an issue in the program. We had to prompt Gemini to fix it, and then it fixed it. But I would not be much concerned about it. Based on my experience with Copilot, I have seen even Copilot make issues. Yeah, at this point of time, it got the code right in the first attempt, but I would not be much worried about it. When we are working with AI, there is a chance of errors. So we should not expect AI to do everything right in the first shot. I would still say it did a good job. Yes, it definitely again took a little additional time, but otherwise, I'm okay. I'm satisfied with what Gemini is able to do. I would possibly say maybe 0.8 for Gemini and then maybe 0.9 for Copilot. I would have wished Copilot would have structured the code even better. So I would not say 1 out of 1 for Copilot, maybe 0.9. Yeah. Now, what we have seen so far with just 2 or 3 different prompts, there is a clear difference in performance between what Copilot can offer and what Gemini can offer. Copilot has been blazingly fast. Whatever questions I had asked, whether it was to create an application, whether it was to fix bugs or improve the application or whatever, it has been able to consistently answer in few seconds. Mostly 3 to 4 seconds, at max 10 seconds. But in case of Google's Gemini, it has been painful. Like for one of my prompts, I literally waited for around 1.5 minutes. The other one took around 30 to 40 seconds. So performance wise, I think clearly Copilot is the winner and it is blazingly fast. I'm very happy with Copilot. I would give 1 out of 1 for Copilot and possibly 0.3 or 0.4 for Gemini. Now, the next thing is the ability of these models to follow proper coding convention, naming conventions and stuff like that. So here I would say none of them are doing a perfect job, but definitely Copilot is doing a better job by not writing extremely lengthy methods, but by not putting everything into a one py file. It has shown signs of better code management compared to Google's Gemini. So again, I'm gonna say Copilot is better here over Gemini. So far, it has been a show of Copilot. Now let us go ahead and continue to evaluate both of these tools on other parameters to see if Gemini has an edge on them. Now it is time for us to see the bug fixing capability of both of these tools. Now I'm gonna forcefully introduce a bug in my code and then I'm gonna ask these tools to fix it. Let us see if it is able to do that. Okay, I introduced a bug in my application where it is checking for valid values of yes and y. I added an additional character yes here just as an intentional bug, and now I'm getting this error. I'm gonna create a new chat with Gemini and then say, hey, I'm getting this error, try to fix it. So Gemini was able to quickly spot the issue and then suggest a fix. Let us go ahead and try to introduce a similar bug with our code in GitHub Copilot as well. Okay, in case of Copilot's application, I have forcefully converted one of the inputs to string type while it was supposed to be integer. So this is the error I'm getting. I'm gonna ask Copilot to fix this. Good. Again, Copilot was able to very quickly identify what was the issue. It was able to fix it as well. Really good. So this shows both of these tools have ability to fix bugs. So when you are working on a real-time application, if your application has issues, if you are facing bugs, you should be able to provide detail of that bug to these agents, and then they will be able to fix it for you. So I would say it is a tie in the ability of these applications to solve bugs. I know I did not solve an extremely complex bug, but I think that's okay. We know that these models are capable of doing it. Now it is time for us to move ahead and see and check the ability of these tools to create proper documentations. We have already seen a glimpse of it with GitHub Copilot coming up with a proper README file even when we did not ask for it. But with the different changes what we have done now, let us ask both of these agents to update the code commands to all of the different methods and also create or update the README file. Now GitHub Copilot has come up with an answer where it is adding different code commands as well. Now it has suggested changes to the README file as well. That is really good. Let us go ahead and accept those changes. So these are the documentation changes. That is really good. In case of README file, it looks like it is trying to create a new file instead of updating the existing file. GitHub Copilot did not do a great job with that. Let me try to ask GitHub Copilot to specifically use the existing file to see if it can handle it. Now it was able to recognize that there is an existing README file and it has to update it instead of creating fresh. So when you work with Copilot, there are various options through which you can specifically provide the context to the Copilot. If you want to know more about it, you can check the link video where I have spoken in detail about different functionalities of Copilot. So what we were evaluating was the ability of Copilot to automatically understand the relevant context, which it failed in this case. But once you provide the relevant context and the relevant file, it will be able to pick up and work. That's great. Meanwhile, let us see what our Gemini has come up with. Gemini has suggested a lot of changes to the password generator.py to add code commands. That is really good. I have accepted those changes. Now let us see if it created a README file as well. I have accepted all the changes. In this case, it was able to go ahead and create a README file as well for me, which is really good. It has also now added details about what are the different requirements, how to run this application and stuff like that. I really like the documentation. So while both of them has generated good documentation, I like what Gemini has created. It has more focus on the different features and it is focusing on the different important factors of this application, what requirements, and it has more detailed instructions on how to use this application, what functionality it offers and stuff like that. So overall, I would give a slight edge to Gemini over GitHub Copilot in the ability to generate better documentation and code commands or method level documentations about a code. Copilot wasn't bad, but I think Gemini did possibly a little better job here. Now it is time for us to look at the next factor, which is called custom shortcuts. So this is something Copilot does not offer and I badly miss it. And let me show you what it is and how beneficial it is as well. So this is how you create a custom command with Google's Gemini Code Assist. In your IDE, you can go to Preferences, Settings, and then you have to search for something like this, Gemini Code Assist Custom Commands. You can find this instructions from their documentation as well. So once you go there, you can click on Add Item, and then you can create the custom command what you want. Let us say one of the frequently used commands which I use when I'm working with this Copilot or Gemini is to remove all the print statements. Like before I move my application, move my code to development environment or any environment, I want to make sure I do not have unnecessary print statements. I use proper loggers or I at least comment out the print statement. Let us say that is what I want. I will create my custom command saying print, or I can say command print statements. And then in the value, it should be the complete prompt what is executed by the model as well. Comment out all the print statements. Wonderful. So now there are a lot of print statements which Gemini has commented out, and anytime in the future I want to use this change, I do not need to type in, hey, please remove all the comments and stuff like that. Please remove all the print statements. I do not need to do that. I can just simply use the quick command what I just created. So this is something Copilot does not offer at all, and Gemini offers. I love that. As a developer, there are few things which we get repeatedly done by these coding assist tools, and we should be able to create custom commands and save our time. So hats off to Gemini for having this feature. Clearly 1 point to Gemini and 0 to Copilot because it doesn't offer it at all. Now, the next thing where Gemini wins is something called custom rules. So again, this is something you create in a very similar way how we created custom commands. So let me go to File, Preferences, Settings, and then I'm gonna now say custom rules. Okay, here is the rule. So custom rules are something additional instructions which are passed to the model every time by default. For example, let us say whenever there is a new method created, you want to make sure that the model creates code commands as well. You can mention that here in this rule. Or you prefer the code to be structured in a particular way, the way you like. You can mention that in the rule. Gemini, the code assist of Gemini will make sure these rules are automatically sent to the model along with your original prompt. Now let me add a rule here. Please add code comments let me say please add code and method level comments whenever a new method is created. So once I do that, if I go and create a new method for any purpose, it should be able to automatically apply that check. Wonderful. As you see the method which is getting created here, you can see Gemini added method level comments here. Previously when we created methods, Gemini did not do it. Now that I have added it into my custom rule, Gemini is following it really well. I also do see code commands added as well. This is again a wonderful feature what I love about Gemini, and Copilot completely lacks it. I need to provide the instructions repeatedly whenever required. Again, complete 1 point to Gemini for this and 0 to Copilot. Now, the last few factors, we see Gemini definitely winning over Copilot. Now it's an important time. We are going to discuss about something called the agent mode. So the way we have been working with both Copilot and Gemini so far is we asking a question, the tool responding with an answer, we accepting it, reviewing it, and then we are executing our application to see if it is working fine. If not, we are going back and prompting the tool again to fix it. All of this changes with something called agent mode. Copilot has something called agent mode here, where you give an instruction and Copilot can take multiple steps on its own. Like if you say Copilot, hey, create an application, execute it and verify it does not have issues, make sure you create test cases, execute those test cases, and if there are issues, fix them as well. Copilot just can read this one prompt and do all of these steps automatically on its own. This is an ability Copilot has and Gemini completely lacks. If you want to know more about this agent mode, check out this link video where we explore the ability of this Copilot's agent mode. It's a really wonderful, mind-blowing. Complete 1 point to GitHub Copilot here for providing this functionality. Gemini, at least at this point of time, does not offer it. The last and the bonus tip what we were going to talk about. is the free tier eligibility. Like whether do we need to pay money to use GitHub Copilot as well as Gemini's code assist tool. The good thing to start with, both of them offer free tier access. You will be able to use GitHub Copilot as well for free as an individual. Same is the case with Gemini code assist tool as well. But where Gemini excels is, it allows up to 2 lakh code completions a month. I mean, you can perform 2 lakh code completions in a month before it stops you. It's as good as no limit. I don't think any one of us is gonna reach that limit of 2 lakh code generations within a month. In case of GitHub Copilot, it is somewhat restricted. It allows up to 50 chat requests in a month and 2000 code completions in a month. There is a very high chance you will exhaust the limit of 50 chat requests in a month pretty soon. And if you are a heavy user, maybe you will exhaust 2000 code completions as well. So as an individual developer, if you do not want to pay money, Copilot has some little bit of restrictions which you will need to live with. But considering all the pointers what we have spoken today, now you know what are the strengths of GitHub Copilot, what are the strengths of Gemini and their corresponding weakness as well. I hope this video was helpful. If you think I missed comparing on some of the important factors, please feel free to add your comment in this video. Also, if you have a different thought or if you have experience using any other code assist tool, do tell me your experience again in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video till here. If you have not subscribed to our channel, it is time to consider the same. Bye.